Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with Tru Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Ready when you are.
Hey guys, I may have go away heat, but these guys have Tru Heel Heat. So you better listen to the podcast or else I'm gonna kick you in your fucking cock and balls.
I'll get it.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Schiavone of All Elite Wrestling, and this is Tru Heel Heat, and I said it right, you motherfuckers.
Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3, and we are live on the Tru Heel Heat Sports and Entertainment YouTube channel, as well as the Tru Heel Heat Facebook for another edition of Tru Heel Heat Check, discussing the latest NBA news, latest basketball news, and this time we are talking all about the big trade of the week, Trae Young being traded from the Atlanta Hawks to the Washington Wizards. And I'm going to be with the one person who is loving this news more than anyone, New York Knicks aficionado himself, Chris G. How are you doing, Chris G?
I'm good. I'm feeling a lot better now that Trae Young is in a fucking dumpster heap, another dumpster heap. Put him further in the dumpster heap, wherever dumpster he wants to go. He got his wish. See you later, Trae.
We appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on the video. That helps us out so much with the YouTube algorithm. You can also share this video with all of your NBA fans, family, and friends on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat Sports and Entertainment YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, you can sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you and hear your thoughts on this big news, as well as we're going to be listing our top 20 best NBA players of all time. We told you about this previously. That's really what this podcast was going to be about, but of course, NBA had to give us one of the biggest trades of the season this week when we already were planning on doing this podcast. But in the live chat with us today, we got the True Draw Josh, who's already got the eyes emoji, another Knicks fan who is very interested to see what we're going to talk about when it comes to Trae Young being traded to the Washington Wizards. So, Chris G, the reason why you're so happy is, of course, you're a big New York Knicks fan, and Trae Young made your life a living hell a couple of years ago when he made that run with the Atlanta Hawks in the playoffs. What was this, 2021? This was like 2021 or so.
Yeah, just about.
So what was your reaction hearing this news? It came out, I believe this was, what was this, Thursday? Was this Thursday morning or yeah, no, it was it was Wednesday evening. The news dropped that the Trae Young era with the Atlanta Hawks has ended, with the All-Star guard being traded to the Washington Wizards. The trade is as follows: it is Trae Young. It was news broke by Shams Charania, he's now fully taken the role of Woj. Now the Woj bomb is now the Shams bomb. Shams said, This was at 9:27 p.m. Eastern on the Wednesday night. Breaking: the Atlanta Hawks are trading four-time NBA All-Star Trae Young to the Washington Wizards for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. This is sources tell ESPN. Me myself, I messaged the Tru Heel Heat chat on Thursday morning, and I said, "Wow, Trae Young got traded for a hot dog and a handshake," because this is basically the equivalent. CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert is one of the worst returns. This makes the return of Anthony Davis and Max Christie seem like it's the biggest, it's like the best trade ever now, in comparison to Trae Young being traded for an old, out of his prime CJ McCollum, who the only reason the Washington Wizards have CJ McCollum is because they wanted to get off that contract of Jordan Poole in the offseason, and Corey Kispert, who is a young player who you could say maybe a prospect, but he's 26 years old. So it's like, dude, they didn't get anything in return for Trae Young. I don't know what. Let's hear what was your reaction to this trade?
Well, the reaction started Monday, because I think Monday is when they broke the news that Trae and the Hawks were going to work on a trade to get him out of there, right? And then you immediately start thinking, well, damn, Trae Young got some value, right? It's talking about a guy career. He's like 25 and 10. You know, he's a guy that could put up numbers. I think he can contribute to a team. So you start thinking, you know, what contenders or what shithole team has enough assets to trade for him. I thought he would have been a good fit for maybe a team like the Heat or even the Timberwolves, even though their assets are kind of limited. A team like the Nets, who need a guy to kind of just build around. You know, they could have gave up, you know, 1 or 2 first-round picks. You know, they got the assets to give up for a guy. But then you see Trae Young's trade value as C.J. McCollum. Oh shit!
He's about to kill you. This trade's about to kill you.
McCollum, not Blazers CJ McCollum, not even Pelicans CJ McCollum. You got Washington Wizards CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. Now, Kispert's like decent off the bench. He could be like a good rotational guy, but I think that's his ceiling. I don't think he's going to be a fucking superstar. So you virtually just gave away Trae Young just to get money off your books, because CJ McCollum's contract is expiring and Kispert might be signed for another year. So, and then what exactly does that do for Atlanta, who's in play-in position? So unless they fully, which they're not going to get worse, because Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels is actually a solid, promising young duo. So I think they're only going to get better. Now that they got the ball more in their hands, it's fully established this is Jalen Johnson's team. So I guess the Hawks could just build around that. But you could have got a first-round pick. You could have got multiple first-round picks for Trae Young. There's no way his value.
I'm not even saying first-round pick. I would have been if they got 2 seconds. That's understandable. The fact that they didn't get no draft capital at all.
No draft capital. They didn't build anything towards the future. They literally, besides freeing up some money, but let's be honest, who the fuck is going to go to Atlanta? They're just freeing up that money to pay Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels at this point. So it may be a big man. There are talks about them focusing on Anthony Davis now, try to pull a trade for Anthony Davis, which they would probably have to give up Porzingis' contract, which he would go back to Dallas, which is funny because right, that's what he deserves. And then maybe somebody else, and they still got a couple young guys that they could build around too. So maybe the Hawks have a plan where they think they can make it to that next level, but I don't see them being the winners of this trade. As for the Wizards, you got a guy in his prime still who could put up 25 and 10. You just got to build around him now.
Who's 27 years old. Like I said to you guys in the chat as well, I was like, this is probably the best player the Wizards have had on their team since prime John Wall, prime Bradley Beal. If he's on the court, Trae Young is, I would say, slightly better at 27 years old than an older Russell Westbrook back in 2021 when he was with the team. His career stats, he averaged 25 points per game, 10 assists, 3.5 rebounds. He does that on 35% from three, 43% from the field. So not the best like field goal shooter, not the most efficient, but he's still a guy that can put the ball in the rim and has shown that he can be a clutch player as well for the team. Like to me, this whole trade and the return that the Hawks got, it really says that the Hawks waited way too long to make this decision. Like, if they were going to trade Trae Young, they should have done it either last season or the season before, because they would have got a lot more than what they're going to get now. And this, honestly, this is like more damning to other players that are similar to Trae Young, like a Ja Morant. Ja Morant, we've been talking about him potentially getting traded. If the trade market for Trae Young is this, and Trae Young he's only played 10 games this season, so he's not been like consistently on the floor. So that's another factor that you have to take into account. But for the season, in those 10 games, he's averaged 19 points per game. He's averaged 9 assists, 41% from the field. So not the greatest from the field, but still he's a guy that is putting up 19 points per game. Like, that is not something to just, hey, we're just gonna get two players that we probably are not gonna have here past the off season, because they're definitely not gonna bring back CJ McCollum. Corey Kispert will probably be used in a trade eventually by like the off season, if not earlier, if they can find a way to do that. But Jesus, like I don't like this trade for either one of these teams because of the Wizards, with the news that came out that the Wizards are planning not to even play Trae Young. So it's like, you got the best player that out of the whole deal, but you're not even going to play him because you're worried about your first round pick. You don't want to fall out of the top 8 because your first round pick will be given to somebody else. Like, and I know it's to the Knicks,
New
so
York
you're
Knicks. Like, please fall to number 9. That's it. We just, our fate, our future fate rests in the hands of the Washington Wizards.
The Washington Wizards. But also, this trade proves that the draft doesn't mean anything. Like, the Wizards have been trying to rebuild their team since they traded away, Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. They've been trying to rebuild the team through the draft, and they have never been able to get that good of a draft pick to kind of get that player. Keyshawn George is a great player on the team that is developing, and he has the ball in his hand. And Trae Young being on the team would affect his growth and his progression that we've seen thus far this season. Alex Sarr is a really good player that's been showing out for the Wizards as well, but I don't get like saying, oh, we don't plan on playing him at all. Like, that's a little okay. I understand you're trying to keep your draft pick and everything, but we have seen just last year with the Dallas Mavericks, you don't need to be a bottom feeding team to freaking get the first round pick or to get a high draft pick. All you have to do is just not be in the playoffs, and they will not be in the playoffs even with Trae Young. So I don't understand that mindset of saying we're not going to play the best player that we have on the team now.
Yeah, I mean, they might be thinking about his long-term health. He has been battling like injury issues, like on and off. So, they're taking the same approach, probably like similar to what the Raptors did with Ingram last year when they traded for him. They got him. He was kind of healthy, but they just like decided not to play him anymore because they wanted to keep his health at 100% so that he could perform this year, which is, paying dividends because they're the 4th seed in the East as of today. So, yeah, I mean, it even if they do play him, you're right, they're not going to do much. But I would say rest him for a little bit. I think you can rest him to the All-Star break and then throw him out there and then let him get his feet wet. You let him develop some of his chemistry with his new teammates that are going to be around for next year, and then you go from there.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to do it. Like, I think with Trae Young, at best, the Washington Wizards can win maybe 25, 30 games. But without him,
give him 30. I wouldn't even give him 30.
Yeah, I mean, I think 30 is pushing it, but the 30 would mean they go 20 and 26 in the rest of the season, which no, they're not going to do that.
No.
They'll probably do. That's why I said 25 to 30. 25 would be like being generous, but yeah, their team is not that good. It's not good at all. If it wasn't for Tyrese Halliburton's injury, they would be the worst team in the Eastern Conference and the worst team in the NBA.
That's true. I don't know about the NBA. The Pelicans are pretty fucking bad, but
the Pelicans are bad, but at least the Pelicans, if he was healthy, if he's ever healthy, they have Zion Williamson still.
That's true.
That's better than anyone on the Wizards pre this Trae Young trade.
Very true.
We got Josh in the chat who says Young is a good stat player, but his advanced stat, dude, man, stop with this white people shit. Telling me, but his advanced stats tells a different story. It's always been an issue since. I hate when people bring up advanced stats and analytics and stuff like that. Yes, we got to take that into account. Yes, I look at player percentage and all of that. Trae Young is a bucket though. Like, can we like advanced stats don't always tell you who's a bucket and who's not a bucket, and Trae Young is a bucket.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him go for 40 multiple times. Might even have a 50 or a few 50 pieces under his belt. I mean, he could put up shots. He's a high volume, shooter. You're gonna have to live with that 43, 44, 45% field goal range. It might not get higher than that, but if you build the right team around him, as you've seen with the Hawks that year, you could kind of live and die with that.
And this is crazy. This was I wanted to bring this up because you said this. This was your immediate response to me when I said the whole hot dog and a handshake. You were like, one of the greatest draft day trades, and look what it happened. Trae Young for Luka Doncic was considered like couple of years ago, especially after Dallas Mavericks made it to the NBA Finals, and that came a couple of seasons after the Atlanta Hawks made it all the way to the conference finals. People were viewing this as one of the greatest draft day pickups and trades of all time because they got two franchise players where it looked like Trae Young was going to be the franchise for the Atlanta Hawks and Luka Doncic. They were already talks of people saying like, oh, these men going to have a statue right next to Dirk Nowitzki outside of the Dallas arena. But now both of those teams are in the bottom of the NBA. Atlanta's in play-in contention at the 9th seed, but both of those teams don't have those franchise players anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of I don't know what the word to use. Bewildering, like, because it's not like these guys been in the league 10, 11 years. These guys, it's only been 7 years for these guys, 7, 8 years max, and to see both franchises give them up for essentially nothing in return, the amount of talent both of these guys have, it's fucking weird. It's weird. It's poorly run organizations, poor management.
We got ALW in the chat. Good to see you, good sir. He says the Hawks are a bad organization. Terrible trade. Yeah, we gotta talk more about the Atlanta side of this because we kind of talked about the Washington Wizards and their whole mindset with not playing Trae and trying to keep their draft pick. For the Atlanta Hawks, like you said, I think that it is a thing where they are trying to put themselves in their mind. They're trying to put themselves in a better position to get Anthony Davis. We've heard for months that is their goal. They want to shore up the defense. They want to be a more defensive team. Jalen Johnson's having a career year. Dyson Daniels was, in contention for Defensive Player of the Year last year, and he's been a great defensive player once again this year. They have a lot of different parts. They got Na on the team, who's a good defender as well. And you get Anthony Davis, that can be a game changer for them. But if you don't get Anthony Davis, this trade looks even worse in retrospect. For me right now, I would say for the Washington Wizards, I would say it's like a B minus trade. Because, like I said, you're getting the best player in the deal, so you have to get a reasonably good grade there. For the Hawks, it's like at a C minus for me at best, but like I would say really it's more of a D, and it could be a complete F if they don't get Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I mean it's already looking like a fucking D minus just based on what they got, and even the perspective of Anthony Davis is like, cool, you traded for AD, like can he stay on the court now? You know what I mean? So those are things that you have to take into consideration. Even if you get AD, how much you're going to give up for him, and what, is he even going to be on the court to, equal that value?
That is true.
It's bad.
we got We got Romeo in the chat who says this Anthony Davis obsession is like being under the curse of Vecna.
It's just the owner of the Hawks is just seeing Anthony Davis like and just leading him to like the fucking clock tower.
Yeah. He's like, I hear the clock chiming. Like, where is it? Is he here?
Yeah, he's fucking walking to the Atlanta Hawks organization slowly. It's hypnotized.
You go in the office, Jalen Johnson knocking on the office door, and the guy's like,
Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh man. ALW, he says the facts that the Hawks want AD shows how bad their player assessment is. AD is very good when he comes to play and not injured, but that's a big if. Yeah, it's like if the caveat to this trade being good or not is you trading for a guy who barely gets on the court, who is half man, half a season, basically what we used to say about like Vince Carter and Grant Hill. That motto is now with Anthony Davis nowadays. The fact that he is the make or break for you in regards to making this trade, where you should have made the trade for Trae Young a couple of seasons ago, at least one season ago, because the return that you got is ridiculous. There had to be a better trade package out there for them. I just don't believe that no one else in the NBA would have gave them like a second round pick. I would say first round pick would be like, yeah, that would be good, but at least a second round pick instead of Corey Kispert and CJ McCollum.
There's an organization out there called the Brooklyn Nets, and they would have made a stupid enough trade to give up a few first round picks. So I'm not sure where the miscommunication was. They said the Nets weren't interested in trading for Trae Young, which is crazy. But I think that would have been a good fit for him.
I'm not going to front with you, talking about like the wider NBA. The Nets are one of the funnest teams to watch, I will say.
Yeah, I love watching them lose, especially to the Knicks.
I was wondering how you were going to respond to that. And that was exactly the response that I thought you would get. But we also got in the chat here Romeo, who says, and I don't know if you addressing this, but report out that the Pelicans may do something similar with Zion. What, take him out and not play him, or are you talking about trade him for nothing? If they're talking about trading him for nothing, I mean, yeah, his value is worse than Trae's.
Yeah, and then you got to pay him still just so he could pay his porn star baby mom. Like, it's not looking good for Zion anywhere he goes. I feel like he's gonna get sent to a shit team too. Trade him to the Hornets or some shit.
Yeah, he's saying trade for less. That would just be, man. Like the 2019 draft don't look good right now with the two top players, Zion and Ja, and the current state of them and their teams. But like, you just make it worse if you trade him. RJ Barrett's looking like the best. He's looking like the best one from that lottery now.
I will never not love RJ Barrett. So he's playing good. He's playing really good. He's having his best year in Toronto. So I'm proud of him.
Yeah, got Toronto at the 4th seed. The Knicks have been struggling though as of late. They got off the snide recently with a win in their recent game, but that came off of like, what was it, 4 straight losses to a couple to some good teams. There was a Hawks loss in there, but the losses to, close loss to the Spurs. They had that loss to the Sixers, but the real one was that loss to the Pistons. And I want to apologize to you because I was in the weeds on Fightful Overbook, and I intentionally did jinx the Knicks because I was like, the Knicks are playing way too well, but they did win the NBA Cup. So I went on in the weeds and I was like, I want to say the Knicks are the favorites to win the Eastern Conference. And as soon as I said that, y'all went on a 4-game losing streak. So I did jinx y'all on purpose because I don't like the Knicks. But y'all did get off the side. Y'all did beat who y'all was supposed to beat with the Clippers. I am happy about that. I do hate the Clippers more than I hate y'all. What do you think about the Knicks as of late with the coming off those losses, losing 4 of your last 5?
Well, I think you should not do that shit again. I think come playoff time, you should keep your fucking mouth shut on any podcast, on any YouTube channel. I don't care if it's on Fightful, if it's here in the sports and entertainment. We could be talking about fucking wrestling. Do not bring up the Knicks once it's like May or June. Please and thank you. My resignation letter would fucking be in so fast, you wouldn't even be able to say Los Angeles Lakers before this shit is sent to you by Gmail. No, honestly, with the Knicks, like no team unless you're an elite team, unless you're fucking OKC, who's even struggling this year, right? Or the Warriors or the Bulls. Like it's very hard to go without losing. Good teams are gonna hit these peaks and valleys. 3 or 4, like I said earlier in an earlier podcast, right? These 3 or 4 game losing streaks don't hurt you if you can still win 5, 6 at a time. Or spread out your losses between a couple wins, 2 or 3 wins. So we lost 4 straight. We're not healthy 100%. We're losing Josh Hart for a few games. Josh Hart is the glue guy of the team. He's a very important part of that team. The offense is stagnant. The defense is stagnant. I think teams have figured out how to contain Brunson a little bit after that NBA Cup, and it's putting a little bit more pressure on Cat, who just can't seem to fucking figure it out in this system. I think that's affecting us too. I think we need a little bit more depth on the center and big man side, because every time you put in Yabu Silly, he looks like Yabu Shitty. Mitch is Mitch. Love him. He's going to keep doing what he got to do, but we might need a little bit more depth there. So trade that. They said they're not going to make no moves in the trade deadline. James Dolan said they're not going to make any moves. Let's see if Leon Rose can pull some shit off. But yeah, we're not the perfect team. I didn't expect us to be, but I still think we're good enough to compete for that top spot in the East. And shout out to the Pistons, man, because they weren't even fully healthy either. I think Jalen Duren was out.
Yeah.
And they still smoked us. So the Pistons are just a tough team, man. They're the team to be in the East this year.
Yeah, I think they proved that with that win there. They're just defensively, they're just a beastly team. Cade Cunningham has taken the next step. Like he is a fringe top 10 player in the NBA, or should be in the top 10 best players in the NBA right now, with his ability to just be that point guard for them on defense. He shows a whole lot of hustle and a whole lot of energy on that side of the court as well. So yeah, the Pistons are deserving of being that number 1 spot. They are 28-9 right now. That big win over the Knicks. As far as the Knicks, I mean, Josh Hart being out was a little bit of a factor. Laker great Josh Hart. I always say my Laker greats. I'm always going to support them. But yeah, We'll see what happens. We'll see at the trade deadline. Another team that needs to make a trade, and I'm not one to talk too much about the Knicks, is because the Lakers are fucking awful on defense. We are fucking trash. We can't guard a parked car in a school crossing zone. It is ridiculous and really it has come down to the fact that I'm gonna say this. Maybe this is a hot take. The Lakers are worse with LeBron James than without LeBron James. Like, I've come to this realization after watching this season and how we played with so much heart and energy and determination and Luka's effort in that first half of the season, when it was just him and Austin Reeves along with like Hachimura and all these other guys. Like, the worst lineup that JJ Redick just keeps putting out there is the lineup of LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Rui Hachimura. That is a net negative. And we always start off, if we're playing a good team, we always start the game 18-8. I literally have seen that score in every first quarter when we play a decent enough team. Like, I was quite surprised we didn't have that against the Spurs the other night, but that's only because Wemby comes off the bench now and then just assaults the whole bench squad for every single team, and then we got demolished like that in the fourth quarter. The Lakers desperately need someone like a Herb Jones, a Draymond Green, whoever they need to get at this trade deadline. They need someone defensively to help us. Jalen Smith, there is so many. We really gotta get it together. And JJ Redick needs to take some accountability, because this dude who called out Doc Rivers at every turn when he was working on ESPN for not taking accountability wants to point the finger at everybody but himself.
Yeah, it's been bad. He's been putting his team under the bus in interviews constantly. Like motherfucker, draw up some better plays. But they do need a little bit of a spark on defense. I like how we said in the beginning in earlier podcasts or earlier episodes that we didn't know how LeBron coming back was going to affect Austin Reeves' game. This motherfucker's affected everybody's game.
Yeah.
And we didn't even take that into accountability, I think. I think we were just worried about like the scoring aspect from like their first two options. But he slows down the ball and the team for the rest of the game. He's 43, man. He could be as explosive and fast and strong still, but at the end of the day, the game of basketball is still played at a fast pace and it's gonna pass you by. He's still good, but he's good
still
in
good on
spurts.
Offense. It's just defense. He does not try. He does
can't-
not try on defense. He does not box anybody out. No, he can. He just don't try. Like
I think
it is
it's
basically
the point
Triple
where
H. Triple H's booking in WWE. It's not a will. It's not a basically like if he has anything, does he have good ideas? Yes. He just doesn't really try all that much. And that is LeBron's problem right now.
I think if he tries, he's gonna put more strain on his body, and he wants to avoid that. I think you'll see LeBron turn it up in the playoffs as usual, but especially the intensity on the defensive end. I think he's just saving it. I think it's a long grind. He's old now. He might be fucking phoning it in until it's time to really play hard, but shouldn't be at the expense of the young guys on the team that were playing good. That gave everybody all that hope in the first 15, 20 games. So we'll see. Hopefully they figure it out. Maybe they'll pull the trade deadline move, but I doubt it. They don't really have many assets.
We still got Dalton Connect, and we still got draft capital to move, and we need to move on Rui Hachimura. I love Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura has one of my favorite names that I've ever seen in the NBA, Rui Hachimura, but we need to move on from him.
I think Jalen Smith would be a good option. He'd probably be the one that costs the least. If you really want to try to throw in a first round pick or something similar, then I would say go after Herb Jones. We'll see.
Yeah, I think Herb Jones and Jalen Smith is the names that I've been seeing shopped around, and the names that I would love to see on the team, especially Jalen Smith because he could stretch the floor from that 4 or 5 position. Final bit of current NBA news before we get into our list of the top 20 greatest NBA players of all time. You're going to hear me and Chris's list on that. We want to hear from you in the chat, your top 20 and best NBA players of all time as well. But we got to talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder, as Romeo says here in the chat. He says, yeah, the Thunder were in a bit of a funk too. It seemed like all of the top teams, except for maybe like the Pistons, were in a funk over the last couple of weeks, whether it's the Nuggets who dropped down a bit, with the Jokic injury. And, I think is he going to be back soon? He's going to be out for like 2 more weeks, right?
I think he's 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks. So, and they've been playing really well without him. So, honestly, the Nuggets have been lately proving me right that Jokic is not the MVP this season because he has a fucking super team around him. But anyway, but the Spurs, they had a little bit of a funk for a bit. They won they've been 4-4, 500 since they had those 3 straight wins against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Timberwolves have been playing well. They're up at the 4th seed now. They just leapfrog over the Lakers after the Lakers lost to the Spurs, and they're at the 4th seed. So they've been playing well, but the Oklahoma City Thunder have been struggling ever since they're schneid against the Spurs, losing 3 straight against the San Antonio Spurs. They had some really back-to-back really bad losses where they lost to the Suns in a very close game by 3 points, and then they got completely smacked by the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets, 124-97. What have you been thinking about the struggles of the Oklahoma City Thunder as of late?
Every team, I feel like the last 2 weeks has, besides maybe like the Pistons and the Celtics been hot. They're like back in the 3rd spot, I think, right behind the Knicks.
They've won 8 of their last 10.
Yeah, they're hot. The Pistons are hot. And the Timberwolves, like you said, are hot. Everybody else has just kind of been like fluttering around like that 5-5, like that 500. Everybody's just kind of been trading wins, and that includes the Thunder, who at one point were, you know, winning 20 in a row. So it just shows that the Thunder are human and they're coming back. They're rounding back out to life or to normalcy. But I don't think it's anything like alarming. I think it's just a rough stretch for a lot of teams. Maybe the holidays got to them, the travel, you know, maybe teams are getting tired. We're starting to get around towards that all-star break, that halfway point where that rest is needed. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think that this is just what's going to happen in a regular season, especially coming off of a championship. I don't think we had the right kind of goals for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I know there was people that's like, oh, they're going to break the wins record at one point. And I was like, no, that usually doesn't happen with a team that's coming off of a championship. You know, the exception to the rule was the 2016 Golden State Warriors. But we saw what happened to them when they went to the playoffs. So maybe it is best that the Oklahoma City Thunder had their breaking point and come down to earth a little bit earlier than a little bit later. So I think that the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to be fine. They got the players. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, still one of the best players in the league, probably the best guard in all of the league. Jalen Williams, I think he's still getting back, getting acclimated. He just came back in December, and you know the ball hasn't been getting into the hoop too much, but I think that he's still getting acclimated with the offense. They've had some players who's been out for a bit as well, so I think that the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to be fine. They're still the number one seed in the Western Conference, still number one in all of the NBA, 31-7. So I don't think they have too much to worry about. They just have to kind of get it together offensively, defensively, and they got to get J-Dub back in the flow with the rest of the team.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Wrist injuries take a little while to get to come back from 100%. So I think he'll be fine once, you know, he starts putting up some normal numbers for his standards. The offense will go up a little bit. Chet cooled down a little bit too, so you got to pick it up a little bit. But SGA is being SGA. The rest of the team is still solid, so they'll be fine.
All right, Chris G. Without further ado, it's time for us to do what we planned this podcast to be about before the Atlanta Hawks and Washington Wizards wanted to give us a hot dog and a handshake trade. We were going to plan this Tru Heel Heat Check number 19, and we are going to focus on the top 20 greatest players of all time. Recently, we did on one of our previous podcasts, we did the top 10 best players in the league right now. But now we are giving you the NBA GOATs, who are the greatest players of all time. So how we're going to do it, I'm going to give my number 20. Chris G's going to give his number 20. I'll give my 19. Chris is going to give his 19, and so on and so forth. And you can follow along with us in the chat and do the same. But Chris G, we're going to start off with number 20. I got my list here. I made a Google Doc, NBA GOATs, and I got up to like 50. I made 50 because I wasn't sure. I had to swap people out and stuff like that. But all right, I'll start off with number 20 here. Coming in at number 20, 3-time NBA MVP, former NBA champion, Nikola Jokic is my number 20.
Try to eat it.
What is that?
Broccoli?
Oh, it's broccoli? Thank you.
Yeah.
Say hi, Chris.
Hi.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Harlem.
Say hi.
Hi, Chris.
So cute.
Itchy back.
Oh, who's your favorite NBA player?
Talking Tom?
Talking Tom? Okay, cool. I didn't know he played basketball. Thank you.
I remember that guy.
Talking Tom Selleck, probably a basketball player. There you
Talking Tom Thibodeau.
go. Talking Tom Thibodeau. Let me close the door here. All right. So yeah, number 20 for me, Nikola Jokic, 3-time NBA MVP, former NBA champion. Joker is number 20 for me. Who's your number 20?
I am going with the big ticket, Kevin Garnett. Because he got one MVP, one championship, but arguably top 3, top 4 power forward of all time. So I'll put him in top 3.
I will say spoiler alert, but I have KG on my list here, but he's a little bit higher for me. A little bit higher for me. Do you have Jokic on your list?
Oh yes, I do. He's
Okay.
a little higher for me.
Okay, now there we go. All right, coming in at number 19, I'm gonna go with Dr. J, Julius Erving, probably the greatest ABA player of all time, probably one of the greatest Philadelphia 76ers of all time, one of the greatest dunkers of all time. I got Dr. J at number 19. Who's your number 19?
We are in agreement there. I have Dr. J at 19 as well. Could have been higher. Spent a few years in the ABA before the NBA, so not like prime years. It was like legend Dr. J. So imagine if we would have got that in the NBA at first, probably be a little higher up there.
I agree. But he's beaten like some of the greats, either in the playoffs or in the NBA finals. Got a finals win over those Magic and Kareem Lakers as well. So yeah, definitely got to put Dr. J in there. I was about to say Dr. Dre. Dr. J coming in at number 19 for the both of us. All right, number 18 for me is the logo, the Mount Rushmore of the Los Angeles Lakers, Jerry West. I got at number 18.
I got Jerry West a little higher. At 18 for me, I got the Admiral, David Robinson.
David Robinson. I'm not. Yeah. Where I got him? All right. I got David Robinson at 26. So he just missed out on my top 20. I got him at 26 on my list. So, so what gave you the nod to give David Robinson number 18 on your list?
I'm looking at my list, and there's a lot of like great centers up there, and 3 or 4 of them. I mean, you can guess which ones are all from that like same era where we had that like golden era of centers. Hey, David Robinson's one of the guys. He got a 70-point game, got an MVP, got a championship. You know, he made it out of that era as one of the greats. So I think he deserves to be on this list.
That's fair. That's right. He got an MVP. Yeah, that's true. And an NBA. He's won an NBA championship. So definitely worthy. I just have him a little bit lower. I got a couple of people ahead of him. I will tell y'all my 5 people that I have ahead of him, but not in the top 20. Number 25, Isaiah Thomas. Number 24, Charles Barkley. Number 23, the nasty man, Vecna himself, Karl Malone. Number 22, Moses Malone, and number 21 just missed out. I gave Jokic the nod over him, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
So those are 5 good players. I mean, you can make a case for any of those guys to be in the top 20, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. Number 17 for me, I went with 3-time NBA champion Dwayne Wade, probably the greatest Miami Heat of all time.
I'm going with 41 gun salute, my boy Dirk Nowitzki, the greatest big man shooter of all time.
Funny enough, if we're gonna move on quickly, we could talk about both of these players, but number 16 for me is number 41 himself, Dirk Nowitzki. I got a 1 spot higher than you. I got Dirk at number 16. Who's your number 16?
I got Oscar Robertson, the original triple-double.
I got the Big O a little bit higher than that, but you got Dirk and Big O. What made you put Dirk at number 17 here? I agree with you. I think he's one of the greatest big man shooters, and I feel like his NBA championship win I rank higher than almost every other NBA championship win of all time. The fact that he beat those Lakers that just won the championship the year prior, he swept them. I remember the heartbreak of being swept in 2011 and then beating LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh, those Heatles in the finals. I think that's the greatest championship, probably other than maybe 2016 with the Cavs. I think that those are the 2 greatest like championship wins of all time.
I think he has one of the greatest championship or playoff runs in history that year because he took out the Lakers. I also, if I'm not mistaken, he took out OKC,
Yes, he did. He did.
which we're talking about KD, Westbrook, Harden, OKC. You know what I mean? So those two teams alone, and then you get to the finals and you take out the big three for the first time. And if you see how they won those games, I mean, Nowitzki was hitting the clutch shot every single game. It was close. He was the guy they were going to, and he was hitting the shot and putting the game away. So, like, you could see how hungry and he was and how much he wanted that championship for his legacy. But also, I give him that spot because I feel like in a way, he kind of transcended the game, like we were talking about with Steph Curry. He kind of made it okay for the big man to come out and want to shoot. And it was okay for the big guy to shoot and spread the floor. So I think he helped like in that transition of the big guys that we see now, like Wemby, Jokic, guys like Amari, like, 10 years ago that could step outside and hit the three. Like that's all influence from Dirk Nowitzki. So I got him there 17 for sure.
Do you have D Wade on your list?
I don't. I actually had him.
What?
I actually had him 21.
What? You have D Wade out of the top 20? How do you have D Wade is the third? He's the third greatest shooting guard of all time. I don't think there's any debate about it. 3-time NBA MVP, and his performance in the finals in 2006. That's one of the greatest finals performances of all time. Like, I value that over the 2 championships that he got with the Heatles and LeBron James. I think that performance jumps him up quite a bit. He's an NBA Finals MVP. He doesn't have like the league MVP, but he was in an era that had LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. Like, it's okay that he didn't have the league MVP, but the fact that he has 3 NBA championships, he's considered a great defender in his prime. He was a great scorer, a scoring champion as well. Like, I don't understand how you can leave D Wade out of the top 20.
Well, I had him 21 because I put 25 people there because the last spot I needed is, you gotta gauge with the other 5 people, right? I had D Wade 21, but I'm not arguing with you because if I look at my list, I only got 2 shooting guards on my list, and I'm pretty sure you can guess who they are.
Well, of course.
I mean? like everybody else on the team was either a great forward, a great power forward, or a great center, right? But all of these guys, or most of them, have multiple rings. They have multiple MVPs. They have longevity. Like it wasn't an easy decision to keep D Wade off, but there's names on here that'll justify it, I think.
That's fair. Number 15 for me, I got Kevin Garnett here. Kevin Garnett, I think that he's one of the greatest defenders, like as far as a big man, one of the greatest defenders that I've ever seen. He's a guy that can guard 1 through 5, NBA MVP in 2004, an NBA champion in 2008 with the Boston Celtics, what he was able to do with the Minnesota Timberwolves and putting that franchise on the map. I think that's why I kind of have him a little bit higher than you, but who you got as 15?
All right, now this one might be a little too high. It might be a little too high. And I base this off of the fact that his career is not over, but like Jokic has been doing shit that we haven't seen before, like for a big man, like the way he can make. He's a great rebounder. He can score at all 3 levels. He got the MVPs. He got the ring. His level of consistency is just like fucking amazing. I think I put him up higher on this list because I think when it's all said and done, he might have another ring in him. He might have another MVP in him. Like it's just, he has a lot to go left. So I like Jokic. I got him there in that 15 spot.
I mean, that Jokic is the greatest, will be the greatest offensive player of all time. That's what he will be known as by the end of his career. Me personally, I need him to win another NBA championship before I put him into like the top 15. And also, I take into account this man can guard anyone. All the rest of the big men on my list would wash him if he's defending them.
It's true. But we live in a time where, that can get covered up with the right team around you. So the defense isn't the biggest thing.
Yeah. All right. Number 14 for me. This is where I got Big O, Oscar Robertson. Oscar Robinson, they did not know that people could average triple doubles. Like for this generation, Russell Westbrook kind of made his name on that, got the NBA MVP in 2017 because he averaged the triple double with that awful team that they had in Oklahoma City in that year. But Oscar Robinson, he was putting up triple double stats playing next to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like he was balling. He has balled on every team he has been a part of. Like he's one of the greatest kings of all time. Like Oscar Robinson, he's an NBA champion. Oscar Robinson deserves way more love than he gets. I think he's one of the greatest guards of all time. So that's why I got him in my top 15 at number 14. Who's your number 14?
Yeah, definitely one of the greatest all-around guards of all time. But at 14, I got the logo, Jerry West. I mean, he's the logo for a reason. The guy averaged 27 points per game for his career. Amazing.
Jerry West, yeah, I had to get him in my top 20. I think that I have him lower mainly because he always lost in the finals.
Well, he got one. He got one.
He got one. He needed Wilt Chamberlain to get it.
Like 7, 8 times he got there, right? I think that he was part of that run with the Lakers where they went like 6 in a row and they only got that one. It was like crazy.
Yeah, they went to 6 finals and they only got 1 championship. Yeah.
Well, fuck it. It's better than nothing. They made him the logo, that one ring.
Yeah, that's why I kind of penalized him for that. But I apologize, Jerry. You do deserve the love. Number 13, or unlucky number 13. So I had to give this to one of the funniest NBA players because I've been watching the Starting 5 series on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it. He's probably one of the funniest players of all time. Professional Twitter troll himself, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant at number 13 for me. Who is your number 13?
Nobody else in this world deserves that unlucky number 13 spot than Kevin Durant.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
Right. We had it right there.
Look at this. Look at Romeo. Look at Romeo as well. Got him at number 13. Everybody should have Kevin Durant at number 13.
I would argue James Harden is low key a little funnier than him though, because he's like so unserious and so unbothered by shit. And the way he like delivers shit, he's funny too. But KD is definitely one of the funniest NBA players ever.
Yes, KD is hilarious, and watching him on Starting 5, just the way he just trash talk. They said they had a game where Gary Payton was in the crowd, and he's trash talking Gary Payton, saying, "I need to get this fire out of these old heads. These old heads think they all-time trash talkers. Now I've been doing this since I was a kid."
Yo, he's the character.
He talks about when he was injured last season. He was like, "Yo, I wake up and he's like, I go on Twitter. It's like fuel. It makes me train harder to recover."
Yo, it's legit. Like, he just goes on Twitter and he's just like, "Well, this is all I need to get through the day."
So good list by Romeo as well. I do have one questionable thing on Romeo's list, but we'll get to that when we get higher up our list. But yeah, Kevin Durant, he deserves to be he deserves number 13, but he could be even higher if he gets another championship, especially with the Houston Rockets. I think that one thing that kind of stops him from being like in the top 10 is the fact that he never won one with like Oklahoma City or with the Nets or with the Phoenix Suns. When he's had really good teams, he hasn't been able to do it. He's only been able to win an NBA championship, 2 NBA titles to be fair, but that was only with the Golden State Warriors, who were coming off of 73-9 and that whole move. But he's one of the greatest scorers of all time. I think that when it comes to like shooting the ball, I don't think we've ever seen a big man shooter like him. Like Dirk Nowitzki, you could say is the greatest big man shooter of all time, but Kevin Durant is also 7 feet tall. He's 7 feet tall and he can hit it from anywhere on the court. One of the most unstoppable scorers of all time, and NBA MVP in 2014, one of the greatest NBA MVP speeches of all time. Like, as far as like when it comes to both on the court and off the court, I don't think that there's been as memorable of a player as Kevin Durant.
No, it's hard to match his antics. But I agree, it's the lack of winning outside of the Warriors franchise that has got him there. Because if not, he's easily top 10.
All right, this is when we're probably gonna get some controversy, or I'm gonna get some controversy. Number 12 for me, Chris G. In my opinion, he is both the most dominant player of all time and also the most overrated player of all time. Wilt Chamberlain at number 12 for me.
Damn, Wilt at 12?
Wilt at 12. This dude was doing it against a couple of school teachers,
Plumbers.
construction workers, and plumbers. I am sorry. And I am sorry, dude, when someone's got like 55 points, 65 points, 70 points, you telling me no one in New York fucking city, I don't care if it's 1962, no one grabs a camera, no one could get a picture. All they can get is a piece of paper with him writing it. There's no footage of that 100-point game. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I think that Wilt is grossly overrated. So I have him at number 12. One of the most dominant players of all time, probably the most dominant player of all time. But also, like Jerry West, he wasn't a winner. He lost repeatedly against Bill Russell. When another player dominates you and always beats you in that way, I can't give you a top 10 status. I'm sorry. I think that a lot of people, and like I see with Romeo's list, he has him at 8. I think that's overrating him. He is grossly overrated. None of us know. None of us have seen him play. Like, what are we talking about? We're just going off of phantom stuff. This is like stories in the freaking Bible. Some of this stuff you don't know if it actually happened.
Just based off. I have Wilt on my list, but he's a little higher.
Of course.
And he's up there because he dominated in the era. Of course, you could argue, yeah, there was construction workers and teachers and plumbers, but nevertheless, he still dominated. So he's a little higher. But my 12th spot, I have Hakeem Olajuwon.
I have Hakeem Olajuwon at number 11, right above him. I think Hakeem Olajuwon, I have seen his dominance. I have seen him play. 2-time NBA MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP. I think he won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same year. Like,
yeah.
Yo, I'm sorry. I think Hakeem, I will take Hakeem over Wilt Chamberlain.
It's not a bad take. I mean, the dream was a man.
Who's your number 11?
Shaquille O'Neal.
You took it. What? Are you talking about me? Me? You've seen this man's dominance. What are you talking about? No, Mr. Towns. I've seen the tape. I've seen Wilt. Wilt was incredible. But I also seen who he's playing against. I'm sorry. He wasn't playing against that many. He wasn't playing against these all-time greats. And when he was playing against an all-time great team, the Celtics, he always fucking lost. Thank you. I agree with this. Shaq disrespect is worse than Wilt disrespect because I love Shaq. It's phantom. It's stories that we hear from our grandfathers and great-grandfathers about Wilt. Shaq, you've seen it. You grew up with Shaq. You've seen his dominance firsthand. How do you not put him in the top 10?
Because I have Wilt Chamberlain in the 10th spot.
Exactly. This bullshit.
You put up 100 points, man.
No, we don't know. We don't know. It's just sad. They just tell you, oh, it happened. It happened. We don't got any footage. We can't prove it.
It's tough. That's tough. That's an interchangeable spot. I wouldn't mind putting Wilt 11, Shaq 12. I mean, I'm sorry. I wouldn't mind putting Shaq 10, Wilt 11. That's a fair swap.
That is. I agree. I think you should change it now.
It's changed. That's it.
So since you already said you're number 10, I'll give my number 10. It is Steph Curry. I got Steph Curry at number 10 on my list. So let's talk about a couple of these players. Wilt Chamberlain, we kind of talked about enough. I see people who are defending him. Mr. Towns saying what? Wilt at 12. Mr. Towns, I am sorry. It don't matter how many tapes you saw. What player did he like? What player did you see with Will Chamberlain? Was Will Chamberlain a good passer? Not really. He averaged some assists, but that's because he's taller than everybody on the court and got people open at times. Defensively, he was good. He wasn't that great. He's not greater than Akeem Olajuwon on defense. Like we gotta match some of these players up. Like when it comes to scoring and offense, yeah, we'll win that against 99% of my list. But when it comes to other points of the game, whether it be your passing, your defense, your 3-level scoring, like he doesn't match up with guys like Akeem Olajuwon who can hit the ball from 15 feet out. With Shaq, he was a bad free throw shooter. So was Wilt Chamberlain. But Shaq was dominant in a better competitive NBA. So that's why I give Shaq the nod. Shaq is a much higher on my list than Wilt Chamberlain. There's a couple of players between Wilt and Shaq for me personally. But Hakeem Olajuwon, I've said enough about him. I think that he's one of the greatest defenders of all time. He's my number 11. Why do you got him at you had him at 12, right?
Yeah, I had him at 12.
And then you get what? So you already explained Shaq.
We're gonna swap. We're gonna swap.
Okay.
We'll put Wilt at 11. We'll put Shaq at 10.
See, this is what we call peer pressure, ladies and gentlemen. Appropriate peer pressure. Appropriate peer pressure. I got Steph Curry at number 10. I think Steph Curry revolutionized NBA. He is one of the most influential NBA players of all time. He changed how the game was played completely. So Steph Curry is my number 10. We got a couple of news in the chat from our boy Romeo here. He says, breaking news, Grizzlies are entertaining offers for Ja Morant. He says that Shams has reported Grizzlies are prioritizing young players and draft picks in return. We've seen the return for Trae Young. Do you think they're going to get something in return for Ja?
I think depending on the team, they can get 1 first-round draft pick, maybe 2. Maybe if a team is desperate enough, but definitely like 2 solid young players. I think there's teams out there that'll pull the trigger for a good point guard.
I agree. All right, back to our list here. So, and we'll read out the whole list. We'll go through both of our lists when we get done here. Number 9 for me, I went with Bill Russell. Bill Russell, the greatest winner of all time. One of the greatest defensive players of all time. Like his number with blocks, with the way he was able to lead the team as a player, as a coach at one point. Like Bill Russell he's another one of those like influential players of all time, and just what he was able to do with putting the Celtics on the map, making them that dominant team. But offensively, Bill Russell wasn't shit. Bill Russell does not that good of an offensive player, so that's why he's lower. He is in my top 10, but he's lower on the list in my top 10 than other players. Who do you have at number 9?
At number 9, I have Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental.
What?
Yes.
I can't.
Yo, listen, this top 10 gets tricky, man. This top 10 gets tricky.
Bill Russell? I mean, you haven't even said Bill Russell yet. Tim Duncan.
I got Bill higher. I got Bill higher than Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan at 9? 9?
If you hear the other 8 guys, you might be like, huh?
Call out Romeo because Romeo doesn't even have him in the top 10.
They got him at 10 or 11,
which I think is ridiculous. I think Tim Duncan has to be in. This whole list is just gone. It's gone crazy already. But yeah, Romeo was the one I was going to call out for this. He has Tim Duncan at number 11. I don't understand how you don't have Tim Duncan in your top 10. I don't understand how Chris G has him at 9. That is outrageous for me.
It's not really that outrageous when I yell out the other 8 names.
He's one of the greatest winners of one of the toughest eras in the 2000s. He won an NBA championship in his second year. And he was the best player with David Robinson on his team.
One of them was against the New York Knicks. Knocks you down a few pegs. Sorry, not sorry.
He beat the Heatles. He beat the Heatles, ladies and gentlemen. He beat those Detroit Pistons.
He did. Well, he beat the Pistons. The Heatles, yeah. All right, he played a part in that. But that was Kawhi and Manu. Manu was going crazy off the bench, and Kawhi locked up LeBron.
Really?
Yes.
We're really not gonna give Tim Duncan credit
for
his career.
He did his part.
For his career, 19 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. Is one of the greatest big men of all time. Like, what are we doing here?
No arguments here. I just have 8 people on my list that I think are more impressive.
This guy is second all time with all defensive team selections. I think he's like third all time all NBA selections. A 2-time and regular season MVP, rookie of the year. Like, when it comes to accolades, when it comes to 5-time NBA champion, greatest spur of all time. All right. Fair enough.
I'm not succumbing to the peer pressure this time.
Fair enough.
This top 10 is solidified.
Number 8. I want to hear your number 8 now. Now you got me interested. Who's your number 8? I'll tell you mine after.
The greatest trash talker in NBA history, Larry fucking Bird.
All right, this is you're getting me back on side because I think that Romeo is quite bugging here by having him this high. But I mean, I kind of have him at that same spot. But Larry Bird is your number 8. My number 8 is Shaquille O'Neal. This is where I have Shaquille O'Neal, the most dominant big man of my generation. Just the moments that he created, whether it's like breaking the backboard, the Magic days. He was in like 4 years, he became the greatest Orlando Magic player of all time. And then with the Lakers, the 3-peat with the Lakers with Kobe Bryant, in my eyes, the greatest duo of all time, because they were not only the greatest duo of all time, they were the greatest rivalry in NBA history. And we're on the same team.
We're on the same team. Fucking hated each other.
Greatest duo and greatest rivalry. Like, when it comes to like talking points, Shaquille O'Neal, and he's one of the most hilarious players of all time outside of the court. Like, yeah, personality wise, like Shaquille O'Neal was the perfect bridge from the Jordan era to the Kobe era. Was Shaquille O'Neal being that best player and kind of bringing the NBA to that next level? So I got Shaq at number 8 on my list. Number 7 on my list, this is where I got Larry Bird. Larry Legend, Larry Bird, who is one of the greatest scorers and shooters of all time. Unfortunately, he has way too many playoff blunders and playoff bad games for me to be like, I know some people that will have him in the top 5, and I'm like, not really there, but okay. So who's your number 7?
My number 7, Steph Curry.
Wow, Steph that high?
I mean, look at his career, man. He transcended the game of basketball. He changed it. He completely changed it, or helped take place in changing that, and how it's played. But also, look at his accolades. I mean, he got MVPs, he got Finals MVPs, he has 4 championships. Like, you know, I mean, he's done it with multiple teams too, like where maybe he wasn't the best guy in the court, right, for those 2 years with KD, but then he has 2 where he was the best guy in the court. And, you know, he had talent less than KD on his team, and he was still able to accomplish these wins. And this is coming from a guy who wasn't super highly like touted in high school and college, and wasn't projected to be like anything near the superstar he became. So, and he's the greatest shooter of all time. So I think he definitely top 10, arguably top 5. I think 7's the right spot for him.
Okay. You explained it well, so I'm not going to argue with you there. I argued with you enough, and I got you to move somebody, so I'll take that win. Number 6, It's another one where I think I'm gonna get some heat from the chat. Like number 12, Wilt Chamberlain. Number 6 on my list, Magic Johnson.
That's fair. I think.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Once again, it's like the Bill Russell argument. Like, yes, he played his position very well. Like, Bill Russell was one of the great centers of all time because he was like that defensive anchor that those 11 championships that the Boston Celtics needed. For Magic Johnson, for those 5 championships, he was the prototypical point guard. He is the greatest point guard of all time. Like, he's the highest that I have any other point guard on my list because he was so good at distributing the ball, one of the greatest offenses of all time with the Showtime Lakers. But Magic Johnson was never a scorer. He was never a scorer. He was never a 3-level scorer. He couldn't shoot the 3 ball. Wasn't really a good shooter at all. Defensively, he wasn't that good defensively either. So those are 2 elements of the game that he wasn't the best in. He wasn't even at times he wasn't even good in those roles of playing defense or shooting the ball. But he's just so overwhelmingly all time when it comes to passing the ball. He's the greatest passer of all time. He has to be high up on the list, but I think he just misses out on the top 5. Who you got at number 6?
So I have Bill Russell at number 6, and it's also in part because he had a year or 2 where he was player coach, might even won a championship as a player coach. His basketball IQ at that time was so far ahead of everybody else's as a big man. Just super impressive. And then he's won at multiple levels. Like he's won as a coach as well as only a coach. There's a reason, right, where people like to bring his name up, like when it comes to the rings discussion, like, oh, but he got 13 rings. I mean, he got a lot of rings. And I think that goes for something. And being the defensive anchor of that Celtics dynasty, I mean, it solidifies him in that 6th spot. But number 5, I do have Magic Johnson.
Fair. Magic Johnson, yeah. Magic Johnson, yeah, I could see anybody putting it like 6, 5, or what. My number 5, though, is the aforementioned Tim Duncan. Like, y'all are sleeping on Tim Duncan. You, Romeo.
That's a fair spot for him.
Chat. He's
That's
number 5.
He's the best power forward ever.
5. He's the greatest power forward ever. He's the greatest Spur ever. He's one of the best defenders, big man defenders of all time. He's one of the best offensive defenders. Like, he's Mr. Fundamental for a reason. Anywhere that he's on the court, he could hit the ball. He was hitting threes later on into his career or in his prime. He's hitting as big 3. I remember the big 3 that tied the game against the Los Angeles Lakers in 2004 before Derek Fisher hits that 0.4 second shot. Like, that would have been considered one of his greatest shots of all time, and that's a 3-point from the top of the key. Like, I've seen Duncan score on all 3 levels. I've seen him defend people that are smaller than him, that are bigger than him. Like, Duncan, I've seen his greatness, and that's why I have to give him the respect. I give him the edge just over Magic Johnson because I think that Tim Duncan might be a better shooter than Magic Johnson, who's a point guard, and he's a much better defender than Magic Johnson.
Yeah, that's fair. I think, it gets tricky when it comes down to the top 10. It depends. Some of it depends on preference, right? I like Duncan. He has all the accolades, but I just think the guys that I put in front of him just showed a little bit more in other aspects of the game. And maybe it's because he's, Mr. Fundamental and because he was nothing flashy, He was just the guy that was going to go out there, put up numbers and win, which at the end of the day is all you really give a fuck about. But, as a viewer, Showtime Lakers, Steph Curry hitting 40-foot 3, stuff like that just appealed more to me. So
you like the flash. I like the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Mr. Fundamental is in my top 5. And this is me coming a long way because during his prime, I hated Tim Duncan because I was a Los Angeles Lakers fan and he used to eliminate us.
Once he beat the Knicks, I was like, fuck this guy. And then he beat the Heat, and I was like, oh, you know what? I kind of like this guy.
Like he made Kobe cry back in 2003, the first year that we didn't make it to the finals. I remember Kobe crying on the bench. Like, I'm gonna be like, I hate you now, Tim Duncan, forever. I love that. No boring guys in my it's only boring if you don't like basketball. If you like great basketball, Tim Duncan is not boring. He has a boring personality, but he's not a boring player when you see him on the court. He's one of the best players to see on the court and so much fun to watch. He's hitting backboard shots, like the bank shot, the fact that that's his signature shot, that just says it all. And he's a guy that has a signature shot. A lot of the guys that I have in my top 5, they have a signature move or shot, and Tim Duncan with the bank shot, he's in my top 5.
It's a dead shot too. A lot of people don't use a bank shot no more.
No one really does at all.
No.
I barely ever see a bank shot.
No.
We got Romeo who says, who would make the best player coach today? LeBron, maybe.
I would say LeBron. Jokic is probably up there because if you see him on the sidelines, he's always coaching up his guys.
He was the player coach after they fired Mike Malone.
Yeah, pretty much for those for those like 20 games before they hired somebody. But I would say those are the first 2 that come to mind, and maybe CP3 if he ever gets on another team. But like that's it.
Yeah, those are good. Those are good shots right there. All right, who is your number 4, Chris G?
My number 4 is going to be Kobe Bryant.
Here we are.
I
again.
love.
Here we
I
are
love
again.
Kobe.
Agreeing. We're agreeing again. Number 4
All right.
for me is my favorite player of all time. It's Kobe Bryant. Yes.
I mean, you could put him anywhere, and like up to 2. Kobe could be put in there. The other 3 guys, just like it's hard to overshadow the top 3. But Kobe was the man. I don't think I've ever seen anybody with a fire in their eyes when they fucking really had to turn it up, other like Kobe Bryant ever in any sport. That he's just that Mamba mentality shit is real, and we miss him.
Yes, I think that Kobe was the best player in the league from like 2002. I would say 2002 all the way through to like 2009, 2010. Like he just was so good offensively, but not only that, the thing that separates Kobe and why he's in my like top 4 is because defensively he's just as good. He's an all-time elite defender. He leads the league. He's an all-time leader in all defensive selections. And I know there's gonna be some people out there like, oh, that's because of reputation and all this other stuff. Dude, the media hated him. The media hated. That's why he only has 1 MVP. But they did not hate his defense. Defensively, he was unapproachable when it came to defensive because no one was putting in that type of effort. He chose to guard the Tracy McGrady's, the D Wades, the Allen Iversons. When it mattered the most, Kobe would be on these guys and be defending them harder than anyone in the NBA. Like he is an elite defender. He's an elite offensive player. All the moves that he learned from Michael Jordan. He's got the signature fadeaway and stuff like that. A 5-time NBA champion. And really the reason, and people will say, oh, he got carried his first 3 championships. He got carried for 1. He was injured in 2000 and he had that wrist injury and he only averaged 15 points against the Pacers. But other than that, the 2001, he did not get carried. He was if there was a Western Conference MVP, he would have won that in 2001. He dominated everybody. The reason why the Lakers swept the Western Conference is because they had one of the greatest and most dominant big men of all time, and they had the best player on the court, and that was Kobe Bryant in those Western Conference series, especially against San Antonio. When they swept San Antonio, Kobe was dominating. He put up like 48 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists against these guys, and this is against Tim Duncan and Bruce Bowen and all these boys. Like, come on, man. People sleep on Kobe way too much. Bleacher Report deserves to have their whole website taken away from them for putting Kobe at 11. How the fuck are you putting Kobe at 11? He is top 10 certified.
Shame.
And both of us, as well as Romeo in the chat, all put Kobe in the top 5. There is no doubt Kobe Bryant is a top 5 player. I have him at number 4.
Yeah, I think at this point he just gets unwarranted hate. If you want to know anything about Kobe's defensive prowess, just look at the meme where Matt Barnes tries to fake him out with the ball in his face, and Kobe no-sells it like he's fucking Vince McMahon and Gorilla after a shit match. Like he just no-sells it Love Kobe.
Kobe should have won MVP in, I would say, 2002. Should have won it in 2006. He should have won it in 2007. He should have won it he won it in 2008, but he also should have won it in 2009.
He should have won it.
So,
He should have won it in 09 because 09 he had a better year than 08.
exactly. That's probably his best year. His best year is 2009 for me, because that's when he put it all together. Like, athletically, he's not as good as he was like in the early 2000s, but as far as like being a leader, being a passer, being the all-time great defender that I'm talking about, and the all-time great offensive player, and what the Lakers were able to achieve that season and went on to win the NBA championship. LeBron, I understand they want to give one to LeBron because LeBron had a couple of great seasons before that one that they kind of felt, oh no, it's your time. Kobe deserved back-to-back NBA MVPs.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's no question what the top three are. It's just how you rank them. Who's your number three?
Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is my number three as well. The all-time great center. Probably, yeah, he is in my eyes the greatest center of all time. The hook shot. The greatest, the most unstoppable shot you have ever seen. 6-time NBA MVP. He won one as Lou Alcindor with the Milwaukee Bucks, and then did it multiple times. 5-time NBA champion with my Los Angeles Lakers and Magic Johnson. Arguably the greatest duo of all time. It's between Magic and Kareem, Jordan and Pippen, and Kobe and Shaq. Those are the top three greatest duos of all time. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is not only that with the NBA, he has one of the greatest careers of all time because of what he was able to do with UCLA, winning multiple NCAA championships. He was the number one all-time greatest all-time leader in scoring for the longest time. It took LeBron James from 18 years old to 40 years old to finally match him. So yeah, Kareem has to be top three.
Yeah. And then he has that what was it? Yeah, they got that he has that crazy college like resume. And he was the number one pick too. It's just like everything. He was just the top of everything.
Yeah. One of the all-time great players, period, in NBA history. All right. Number two, I think we probably have the same. Is probably the same.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
I see it in the chat. I see it in the chat with Romeo. I think we probably got the same, so we could just say it. Number two, LeBron James. Number one, Michael Jordan.
Fuck yeah. Michael Jordan, baby.
Hey, I will give LeBron James credit, the all-time leader in scoring, and the fact that he's still going to this day. It's going to be very hard for anyone to top LeBron James on the all-time scoring list. But LeBron is one of the all-time great passers. He's one of the all-time great scorers. He's one of the all-time great forward. He's the greatest small forward of all time. Greatest Cleveland Cavalier of all time. That championship in 2016 is the greatest. I would say, like I said, a couple of people had one of the greatest runs in the finals and one of the greatest championships of all time. Like I said, I think only Dirk Nowitzki with those Dallas Mavericks, because he didn't have like another kind of in their prime all-star. He had Jason Kidd, but he didn't have another all-time great all-star in their prime. LeBron had Kyrie Irving, but he beat a 73-9 team, the Golden State Warriors, who were revolutionizing the NBA at that time, and came from 3-1 down to win that finals. First time ever in an NBA finals to do that. That is one of the all-time great achievements. And that was really the difference between LeBron being like a top 5 player and at that number 2 spot. It's that 2016 championship in my eyes. But then he got another one with the Los Angeles Lakers with Anthony Davis. He's been with the Lakers for 8 years. He's going to be on the all-time great Lakers list as well. Like, LeBron James deserves to be number 2, but I know there's going to be some 13-year-olds out there that are very upset that we're putting him at number 2 instead of number 1. So what do you have to say about number 1, Michael Jordan?
Easily the greatest winner in NBA history. I mean, this man wouldn't even let you win backstage shooting dice against the wall in his own locker room. This man had no heart, no remorse for anybody on the court. Cold-blooded killer. Listen, man, you could run down all the accolades for Michael Jordan, and you can make the arguments against LeBron for who should be number one, right? The longevity and all this and yada, 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 championships. But if you just watched how both guys played, there's an intensity and a hunger to win that is unmatched in Michael Jordan. Besides maybe Kobe Bryant. I think Kobe's like the closest one we've seen to it. But
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, I mean, based on the stories that you hear about him, if you watch The Last Dance and the shit that people like the shit that he made up in his head just so he could hate you and like take your soul on that court, like he is a human possessed that we've never seen and we probably never will see on the basketball court again. 30 points per game for his career, defensive player of the year 1 year, 8 all defensive NBA teams, 6 for 6 in the finals, flu games, whatever you want to call it, 6 for 6 in finals MVPs. I mean, the guy doesn't lose. His winning percentage in the NBA was at like 68%, which is fucking wild considering that he had his first 2 or 3 years were rebuild years and there were still like fringe playoff teams. So whatever you want to say about LeBron versus Michael Jordan, I think just based on how he played, how he approached the game, and the fact that we may never see like somebody like go to the finals repeatedly and just keep winning like he did, three-peat after three-peat, retire, come back, three-peat, come back at 40 and fucking still put up 20 a game, like we're never going to see it again. So I'm going with Michael Jordan and I'm sticking with him.
And I think still to this day, he's the only guard that's won multiple NBA championships without like an all-time great either defender or all-time great just overall player in the front court. Like Kobe had Shaq, then he had Paul Gasol. Steph Curry had Draymond Green for all of his championships. Like Magic Johnson had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like Jordan played with Luke Longley, Tony Kukoc. He had Dennis Rodman for the last 3, but he still has 3 championships without, like, he had Horace Grant, who was good at that time, but he's not an all-time great in the front
Bill
court.
Cartwright.
Bill Cartwright. My God, like people don't understand. And like Romeo said, he's like, we've entered a new generation territory who will have LeBron as their number one because they didn't see MJ. That's why I'm thankful for what you said, The Last Dance, because I feel like The Last Dance has educated a lot of people of who Michael Jordan was, his mindset, his mentality that made him just different from everybody else. He comes into the league in 1983, and in his first season, he's already like a top 10 player. And then by season 2, season 3, he's in the MVP discussion. Like we had never seen a guard do that in the NBA. Like his ability to work so hard, be the hardest worker on the court, be the first one in the gym, last one out, and still have time to go gamble a bit. This man is unmatched what Michael Jordan was able to achieve. And then what he was able to achieve even after retirement, after 2 separate retirements, retiring and going to play baseball for a bit, sucking at that, and then coming back and winning 3 straight championships, setting a record 72 wins in a season. He's a 5-time NBA MVP, 6-time NBA Finals MVP, 6-time champion, a defensive player of the year. He was all defensive multiple times, one of the elite defenders from the guard position, the greatest shooting guard of all time. The accolades just don't stop with Michael Jordan. There was nothing that LeBron James could do to take that spot from him. I don't think that's ever going to change. Like, I think that in a lot of sports, there is an opportunity for someone to become the number one. I don't think that's it with the NBA. I think that's over. Maybe Wemby is the next opportunity because we never seen anything like Wemby, but there was nothing like LeBron James could do to get that number one spot from Michael Jordan if you actually see what Michael Jordan was able to achieve and you see the accolades of what he got.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be beat. It's kind of like hockey, right? It's a weird comparison, but Alexander Ovechkin is like the highest goal scorer of all time, right? But if you ask people who's the greatest, they're probably still going to say Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that Michael Jordan, LeBron thing too. Like LeBron could score fucking 50,000 points if he wants to. But if you ask somebody who's the greatest player of all time, probably going to say Michael Jordan. So, hey, Some guys are just meant to be the greatest of all time forever.
That's Mike. That is Mike for sure. So there was no debate what the top 3 was going to be. We were right on target with our top 4 at least, and we had a couple of the same positions on our top 10. But I will read out my list, and then you can read out your list in full. So I'll start from number 20. It was Nikola Jokic. Number 19, Dr. J. Number 18, the logo, Jerry West. Number 17, D. Wade, Dwayne Wade. Number 16, Dirk Nowitzki. Number 15, Kevin Garnett. Number 14, the Big O, Oscar Robertson. Number 13, Kevin Durant. Number 12, Wilt Chamberlain. Number 11, Hakeem Olajuwon. Number 10, Steph Curry. Number 9, Bill Russell. Number 8, Shaquille O'Neal. Number 7, Larry Bird. Number 6, Magic Johnson. Number 5, Tim Duncan. Number 4, Kobe Bryant. Number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 2, LeBron James. And number 1, Michael Jordan. What's your top 20?
All right, so my 25 is as follows. 20 was Kevin Garnett, 19 was David Robinson, 18 Dr. J, 17 Dirk Nowitzki, 16 Oscar Robertson, Jokic 15, Jerry West 14th, KD 13th, Olajuwon 12th, Wilt 11th, Shaq 10th, 9th Duncan, Bird 8. Wait, I think I had Bird, then Duncan, 7th Steph, 6th was Bill, Magic was 5th, Kobe was 4th, Kareem 3rd, LeBron 2nd, Magic. I'm sorry, Michael Jordan 1.
We got a good question here in the chat. Thank you. I like your list as well. Your list is good. I had my issues, but overall, your list is good. Romeo said, I'm going to give you some modern names. You tell me where they will end up top 20 if they even will be. Rapid fire. Luka Doncic. Luka needs a championship. I think if he gets the championship, he's top 25. If he gets a championship and a couple of MVPs, I would say he's going to finish off his career at like top 15. What about you, Luka?
I agree with Luka. I think Edwards has the talent to crack top 10 if he wins some MVPs and championships. I think SGA is going to be like in that Duncan category where like they're not super flashy, but like they're consistently good with their numbers and they'll win MVPs and championships, which may propel him to like top 15.
I think Shea is a top 75 guy. Already.
Yeah, me too. His numbers are there, and then with the championship and the MVP, just kind of solidifies him in that spot. But he's only 28 years old. We have more to see out of him, so the jury's out on him. And then I think Wemby, it really depends on his health. He's with a good organization that seems like they're going to set him up for a championship. He has the talent to win multiple MVPs, but it's 3-4 years in, and he's been hurt a few times already with these weird injuries. So now I'm starting to get a little worried. So I hope he can just stay healthy, and then sky's the limit, right?
Yeah. I would say Shea is already like top 60, honestly. Like I said, top 75. I think I would cut him like top 60. And I think he's not 60. He's like 51, 52. I actually put my top 50 and I have Luka at 48 because Luka has had one of the greatest starts to a career ever. Like he's been a 5-time all NBA player and he's not even 28, 29 years old. Like, come on. Like, yeah, we got to give credit where credit's due. He just needs the MVPs, the championships to kind of rise him up a little taller. But I think that Luka's a top 50 player already. Wemby, it's going to take it. All he needs is time. He's going to win championships. He's going to win MVPs. He's going to win multiple defensive player of the years. I think Wemby, out of all these guys, he has the best shot to be top 10 and possibly even crack the top 5.
Agreed.
Edwards, he's already a great defender. I would think Edwards, he's like one MVP away from top 75. So that's my take on those 4 guys. Good question, though, Romeo. Thank you for that. We've made it to the end of another Tru Heel Heat Check, a longer one for you to enjoy. We'll have our list of the top 20 best NBA players of all time. We'll put that up as a separate video for anyone who wants to watch that separately. But Chris G, thank you as always for joining me. Had a lot of fun with our list. Had a lot of fun talking about Trae Young. Let the people know where they can follow you.
can find me on Instagram and TikTok at THCG. I think you can find me on X at Tru Heel Chris G. I'll probably switch that up. You can find me here on the Tru Heel Heat Sports and Entertainment channel, as well as the Tru Heel Heat Wrestling channel.
Indeed, follow him for that. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Tru Heel Heat. Of course, I will be live tomorrow at 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time with the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast. But that is over on the wrestling channel. Check out all the great stuff we got on this channel, like our Stranger Things reviews. We did a review for season 5, volumes 1 and 2. I did that one solo, but then me and Chris G, we teamed up for the volume 3 finale review. Had a lot of fun talking about that. Check out our Power Book 4 Force season 3 reviews, especially season 3, episode 9, War Requiem. Me and Chrissy Love breaking down everything that's going down in this season of Force, the final season of Force, and we'll be back next week. No. We'll be back the week after, or maybe the weekend after, for the review of the final episode, which drops next Friday. Check out the wrestling YouTube channel for AE Ramble 231, something about the DCF, reviewing this week's first episode of AEW Dynamite of the new year. Check out True Picks, which is coming up. We're going to be previewing the wild card week of 2025. It's going to be Stat King as well as Chase with that one. But thank you so much for joining us live. Thank you so much for watching us on demand. Remember to drop the thumbs up, share this video, and subscribe if you are new. For Chris G, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat Check number 19. You're a wizard, Trae. We are signing off until next time.
When Jalen Brunson brings a